This AgVision program is made possible through the generous support of Syngenta Seeds, NK brand. The results you need, the freedom to choose. And by Farms.com. Ag news, market prices, ag careers, and farm real estate. You'll find it all at Farms.com. And by FarmCenter.com. It's the only farm management resource center you need. Entitlement, freeloading, there are many names for it, but it's a condition that can be prevalent on many family farms in this country, and it can be a problem. Farm family business coach Elaine Froese is here. Okay, so here's the deal. You're talking about freeloading. Let's say I work at a fast food place. You get free hamburgers, you get free milkshakes, part of the package, right? So what's the big deal? I'm on the farm, I fill up with free gas and use the farm truck for my personal stuff. Is this a big deal?
Costs a lot more than those hamburgers and milkshakes, Kevin. I have a friend who's a consultant from Idaho. His name's Dick Whitman.
Yep.
And if you go to his website, whitmanconsulting.com, and hit free downloads, there's a compensation summary template that he uses, which I've found very useful for families. Just in terms of looking at, okay, free hamburger, yeah, it comes on the hoof. You get it as free beef for your freezer. You get gas, you get hydro, you get whatever benefits. Maybe you get a house to live in for free. And the problem is you don't have a really good handle on what the farm non-taxable benefits are that you are actually enjoying. And then we have a farm succession discussion around how much does your family need to live on for a year? And you don't really have a true idea of what it really costs you to live.
So what's the basis, though, of this discussion in the sense, I mean, again, this is an issue that you bring up, and I'm assuming you bring the issue up because you see it causing some kind of a problem.
Well, and it can happen in terms of living expenses. So there's animosity between the farming brother and the non-farming brother. Okay. Well, look at the free ride he gets at the farm. Well, he's not getting a free ride technically, but unless the compensation issue is discussed, that becomes an undiscussable and there's conflict.
Yeah.
Then there's another scenario, which is, hey, who's been taking extra gas out of the tank? And sister comes home from Saskatoon and she loads up, and then brother comes up, and then there's all kinds of money flowing out of the farm that you don't know where it's going. And then, so then there's another issue, and that's the daughter-in-law who comes home and has just spent, cha-ching, cha-ching, 6 digits, or not 6, that's a little high,
yeah,
5 digits,
sure.
Okay, 10 grand on a card, and she's gone out shopping for retail therapy because she's not happy. And so she's kind of freeloading off the farm, too, in terms of, covering off her visa with farm checks, and you're not going to talk about this?
Right. So there's some accounting issues, obviously, and there's some interpersonal
Well,
stuff.
and the whole thing around lifestyle needs, Kevin, I think for farm people who are looking at leaving the farm and people who want to come and live on the farm, that's one of the 3 key areas about what is it going to cost us to live, and is there enough income? So you need to know what that taxable, non-taxable benefit is. Yeah. And what about your son who's not leaving? He's freeloading off mom. She's still cooking. She's still mending his jeans.
Sure.
She's looking for mobile homes, but he's not getting the hint.
Yeah. And these are issues more with the older generation parents saying we're having, as the old movie goes, failure to launch here.
Right. That's a great movie. Yeah.
I guess that's part of the issues more from their perspective. The younger generation, I don't suppose, see it as an issue, right? They feel maybe is there entitlement there for...
Elaine, I have it really good. Why would I change anything? And I have these parents going, my son's not leaving. I said, don't complain to me that your 32-year-old son is not living independently. And then it becomes a human resource issue, Kevin, because I once had a farmer in Alberta come up to me. He was 42 years old, and he said, Elaine, I have a very successful farm business. I forgot to get married. And I'm going, why is this a human resource issue? Because you are not attractive to a female if you are not living independently. So here's a word to all these single farmers watching AgVisionTV. Yeah. Get a life outside of your mother and father's. And you say, well, it's very comfortable here. Well, I'm not going to be interested as a single young farm woman possibility if you're not living on your own. So independence and stopping freeloading, I think, is also healthy for the future of your business in terms of being married. And not everybody's going to get married, and that's fine. But again, what are you allowing? And what are you teaching your next generation about being really up to speed on the numbers on your farm.
You said this is a bit of an HR issue. I have a brother who lives in the Silicon Valley there near San Francisco, and he says to me that often businesses will encourage staff to move along to other companies and hope that they will return eventually. Would that work on the farm in this?
Well, again,
case?
and that's the other case in point, is if you look at any of the folks who speak about best practices and top managers, they say it's very key that your 20-year-old leaves and goes away for 2 years, hopefully, maybe even just a year, and works alongside and sees a management style beside his dad's or his mom's.
Yeah.
And it's important that they get that independence. But the freeloading, the key issue here, Kevin, is all the compensation that they are getting for being part of that farm family, but they're not documenting it. And then it becomes an argument between the farming kids and the non-farming kids. And then I look at a non-farming kid and I say, look, if you've been given an education by the farm, that's worth, in the eyes of Don McCannell, who's a financial planner from Saskatoon, he said, Elaine, a university education, that's worth $200,000 in terms of opportunity. So, you know, because at some point there's a little bit of accounting as to what have we given this child, what have we given this child, and I'm saying to the parents, what have you given yourself?
So let's go right to where the rubber meets the road. Let's say we've got a freeloading farm son or daughter that isn't getting the subtle hints. Do you ask them to leave?
I think you have a discussion. What is it about living here that is not working for me as a parent? I don't want to cook for you anymore. I want you to learn how to live on yourself, by yourself. I want you to have the pride of owning your own home or knowing what it's like to pay a mortgage or finance your own residence. I need privacy. You know, whatever the need is.